Hello everybody, Justin here from Royal Botanical Gardens, and I can tell you that it's starting to get cold outside, and that means animal behaviors are going to start to change, and they are going to go and do what they need to survive the winter. Now, a lot of animals are going to migrate from birds to monarch butterflies, and they're going to fly further south where it's warmer in order to breed or just to get away from the cold until it warms back up over here. Now, a lot of animals are also going to stay right where they are here in our nature sanctuaries or even in our gardens. So I want to talk to you a little bit about where these animals are and what they're doing. While you might not find bear hibernating in our gardens, spaces like these are extremely important for a lot of invertebrates and those insects that help keep our garden healthy. Now, they'll overwinter as adults or eggs or somewhere in between.
And the layer of leaves and hollow stems of these plants are going to be perfect shelter to get out of the cold air, while these insects diapause for the winter, which is like sleeping without growing.
Throughout our rose garden, we keep a nice thick layer of mulch so that those insects can burrow underneath and have a nice comfortable and insulated place to sleep. It's even better when there's a nice thick layer of snow on there to help keep that temperature nice and consistent. Now, all of these insects are going to also be important food for some of the other animals that stay active during the winter, like spiders that will be sharing the same habitat as them, and also birds that are going to be looking for insects instead of seeds to help them get through the winter. Now, those birds too are going to be using plants for shelter, but they're going to be using plants that are a little bit bigger, like some of these evergreens behind me, to help keep them out of the cold and shelter them from that cold winter wind.
While our gardens can provide a lot of important habitat for animals, nothing can really replace the resources provided by natural spaces like the nature sanctuaries around Coote's Paradise Marsh. Forest flora not only helps the insects that we talked about, but it also provides plenty of shelter for other animals like chipmunks that live in burrows where they'll store their food and hibernate, frogs that find shelter under leaves and under the ground during the winter, and snakes that overwinter alone or in groups in hibernacula, which are like dens under the soil, logs, and rocks. When there is a nice solid layer of snow on top of the ground and leaves, the space created underneath is called a subnivean zone, which creates a perfect climate for shrews, mice, and other small critters that stay active through the winter, which is also good for coyotes and owls who will hunt these animals by listening for them under the snow.
Up in the trees is where you'll find drays, which are the nests of squirrels, and they'll be spending most of their time indoors unless they're out looking for the food that they hid earlier in the season. Now, trees are also going to be where woodpeckers are going to excavate their own shelters and tunnel out holes. And those holes are going to be important shelter for other birds as well, and even butterflies like the mourning cloak, which overwinters as an adult, making it one of the first butterflies to emerge in the spring.
So ponds, marshes, creeks, where there's lots of plant matter, is important habitat for fish, for turtles, for frogs that are going to swim down deeper in the water and maybe hide underneath some of that plant matter where the water isn't going to freeze. And then they become less active while they wait for the water to warm back up. So next time you're outside during winter, maybe you're hiking like I am, have a look around and think about all of the different animals, big and small, that might be sheltering nearby. Maybe in the trees, underneath the leaves, maybe right beside where you're putting your feet. And think about how it's important that we protect and help these animals both in our gardens, wherever we are, but also protecting the natural spaces like these nature sanctuaries. Because in the end, helping them is gonna help us too. So until next time, happy exploring.